What up, New England? Welcome to the Room Podcast, Episode 7, NEF Recap. What's going on, people? I'm trying to watch a couple of different things. I was actually watching my little fight montage, finish montage, and the delay is a little different here. So I was watching this, and it was ending on my my edit screen. So hopefully you can all hear me. Let me see. What up, New England? Yes, I am live. See that, people? And you're all on. There's a bunch of people on right now. We got a big show tonight. Big show. 3 big guests, 3 big winners from Saturday night. 2 amateurs and 1 professional. And they had all finishes. All first round finishes. And 2 of the amateurs are undefeated. And the pro that is on is Jesse, the Viking Erickson. Let me shut the volume down on this. Who will be the last call tonight. We'll be talking to him because I've never spoken to Jesse before. Just briefly said hi to him at a couple of cards here and there, NEF cards. And I think Combat Zone, I think he fought. I think I saw him fight a title fight there. So I'm going to be interested in speaking to him because he does coach at CMBJJ, where a lot of fighters fought Saturday night, including himself. And I think they had a pretty damn good outcome with the fights. I think maybe 1 or 2 maybe lost, but they had a lot of fighters on there. So our first caller is going to be Nate the Mule White. He improved to 5-0 Saturday night with a big TKO first round finish. And we're going to talk to him first in probably about 3 or 4 minutes. But before we head on to him, I just want to give, let you people know that, there was a passing recently. Carol Evans, Thomas Evans' mom, she just recently passed away. Everybody knows Carol Evans. She did so much for the community, Central Falls, so much stuff for the nonprofit Regional Fight Sports, for Tom's Gym. Tom Evans Sr. and her were always at fights. They were everywhere. She, is going to be so much missed in the New England community and beyond. I talked to Tom. He's doing all right. There's going to be a big service for her on Saturday. Tom posted it online. So check out Tom Evans' page. I think I shared it to the Regional Fight Sports page, and I shared it everywhere else. So I get a little choked up. So, just... keep her in your thoughts, keep their family in your thoughts. And, she was in a lot of pain. So, the pain is done and, she's on to, no more pain. So, I'm a little choked up. So with that said, we're going to move on. So Saturday night was fucking awesome. Let me just put a picture up here. Let me just flash some pictures before we start. The event was incredible. It was a two and a 2 hour and 40-minute ride for me, which isn't bad. I mean, New Hampshire is basically an hour and 50 minutes away from me, and to drive another 40, 45 minutes, maybe 50, to get to Maine and get to this fight was like it was great. It was straight line. I didn't have to take many exits. Went right there, right through Providence to Maine, and we were all good. Let me see. Nathan is right here, so I'm going to be calling him. I'm going to let him know I'm calling him in a couple of minutes. Call you in 5. How's that? Call you in 5 minutes here. So shout out to Nick DeSalvo and Matt Peterson for a great event at the Merrill Auditorium in Portland, Maine. The first time they had it there. It was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place. A great place to watch a fight. Just the sound in there, the crowd, everything was friggin' crazy. As you could hear, like the highlight video that I put up, the crowd was crazy. The crowd was crazy in there. But everything went smooth. The fights, a lot of first round finishes, a lot of finishes. Just I think three decisions. Maybe I'm wrong. Somebody out there, maybe you can tell me. But Nate White's watching. Nicole Erickson, your husband will be coming on. Aaron Hughes, what's up? Brian Costco, who fought Nate White. Brian, you had a great friggin', great kind of slam there, which you just got caught in Nate's, Nate ground and pounding you. But, Brian Costco, he'll be back. He's a veteran amateur. He was cornered by Connor Berry. And who else? I don't know who else was cornering, but Connor Berry is a personal friend of mine, also a great fighter who will be fighting for Ammo in the end of the month. Jeffrey Gonzalez. All right, we got everyone on here. So Nick DeSalvo is on. So I just want to thank Matt Peterson, Nick DeSalvo for the hospitality they showed me, as far as, just making sure I was taken care of when I got there. Fred Lear, Aaron Lacey, they basically held my hand as soon as I walked through the door and got me to where I needed to go. They were awesome. Everybody was awesome. The crowd, NEF is definitely a fights that I'm always going to go to. I mean, them and Cage Titans, and the other, them are my two that I will always attend, unless they're in Canada or something. Then it's kind of a little hard. Maybe jump on a train. But I enjoyed it. It's a great time there. I felt comfortable. So that's about it with that. We're going to talk about the card with the fighters, of course, and their take on it. But that's about it. So let me tell Nate, and I'm going to call him right now. Mike Bezanson, all class Bezanson, will be calling in around 9. And then, like I said, Jesse Erickson will be taking us home probably around 20 past 9. And then I'll talk for like 10 minutes at the end, tell you, the topics of the week in MMA in New England. There's a couple of beans spilling here and there. We got a website that's in the works. We'll talk about that. You guys are going to love it. I got some previews of some fight stuff too. You guys are all, fighters are going to have profiles on there. I saw like 3 or 4 of the fighters' profiles already, like a template and what's going to be going on in it. You guys are going to die when you see this. I mean, you're going to die. I'll talk about it at the end of the show because there's so much to talk about. So, Nate, I'm going to call you right now. So hold on. Call it now, bro. See if he is watching, so he knows, but it's a little delayed. So when I say something here, you don't get it until or I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on. So all the winners are up there. The only fight I don't have up there is hold on. There's one fight I'm missing in there, and I'll remember it during the broadcast here. But that's about it. So let me give Nate a call right now. I need a producer, somebody that can bring up footage for me on the computer, somebody that can call these people for me. Somebody who can get me ready for these people. If you like to come sit on the side here and make no money, but just get credit for being my sidekick here, you got to live locally in Providence because I'm in Johnston, and you can't be living in Maine and coming here on a Wednesday unless you want to drive fucking 3 hours and commit to every week coming here on a Wednesday, and you sit right there and you'll be my producer. Could happen. All right, I'm calling him now. I'm calling Nathan right now. Russell McDonald, what's up? All right, calling Nate. Let me shut this off. Wow, already. Nate?
Yo, what's
Hey!
up?
What's up, my friend? Can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
All right, cool, man. How are you doing, brother? I got to get your pictures up and stuff. So, brother, tell me how you doing and how you feeling a few days after that great performance Saturday.
I'm feeling great, man. I'm kind of relaxing right now, but I just been balls to the wall ever since.
Balls to the walls, right back at training, right?
Training, working, everything.
Now, when I talked to you Saturday night, you had a wrestling meet or something to coach Sunday.
Uh, I was reffing a wrestling meet in Sanford. I woke up at 6:45, and I left at 6:45 Sunday morning to head down to Sanford to ref.
No shit. How'd that go? How was the reffing? Were you tired or were you just psyched and still on a high from Saturday?
I was beat. I was tired. It was a long day. It was like 10 hours of reffing, just constant. But it was fun, I love doing that. Wrestling's my passion, so, you know, I love sticking with it.
Awesome. Do you make any money reffing? Do you get like paid? Do you get tipped? Does anything like that happen with the reffing?
I do get paid. I took my reffing course this year, a couple months ago, and I passed it. So now I'm officially a paid ref in the
Excellent.
state
What,
of Maine.
Nate, we could have used your reffing ability Saturday night in a couple of those fights, brother. Not, no, no. sorry. So let's get back to Saturday, my man. Let's get back to like Saturday before the fights, man. What goes through your head, man? Because this was a new venue, a beautiful venue, man, and you seen it. You were there. Visiting before the fights and stuff. What were you thinking before the fight? Like just looking at that place and knowing you're going to be in front of that many people.
Dude, I thought it was so sick. I love those venues where it's a theater, like a theater. I was just excited, man. I wasn't too worried about the fight. I felt like I trained hard enough and did all the right things leading up to it. So I was in a pretty good mental state coming in. So I was just excited to get the night going.
Excellent. Well, you and I had an interview before the fights, and we talked about Brian. That he's a veteran going in there. Right off the bat, he picked you up, brought you across the cage to the fence, and you took over from there. Dude, talk us through that, man. I got your fight that I'm going to put up as we talk too, but he picks you up, brings you right up to the cage, and then you took control, man. Talk about what was going through your head right there, and the transitions you used to finish that fight.
Well, we can't forget the kick. Once I landed that,
Oh, that's right.
I pretty much knew it was over. He caught my foot, but I had him in the guillotine, and when he picked me up, I was just thinking. The things that were running through my head was like, man, he's gonna bring me over to the cage. So when we hit the mat, that's just like natural to me to get up on not stay on my back because I don't want to get pinned in wrestling. So it's second nature. Just get back on my knees and fight. So it wasn't different there.
Now, finishing that fight, brother. I mean, it was a thing of beauty, just, ground and pound. He tried to sweep you here and there. He's a strong dude. I mean, I've seen Brian. I mean, grappler at heart. I mean, he loves to get on the ground. What'd you feel from him? Was it, just business as usual, and you knew the end was coming soon?
Yeah, I knew it wasn't gonna last too long. I really think that kick really messed him up. I don't think he was all there the rest of the fight. And if say I didn't get the stoppage there, I think that would have been doctor stoppage. That was a pretty nasty cut. He was bleeding all over the place.
So a great performance there, brother. Very proud. You came up to me, gave me that. You're doing it right now, 5-0, right there, dude. That was a thing of beauty, man. What's going through your head right there when you're walking around the cage and you're just like pumped and you just basically beat a man down?
Man, my biggest thing was I was really excited because I know Brian's a veteran and he's been in the cage a long time, but so I was ready to fight at 155, and he wouldn't take the fight unless it was at 158. So I was like, all right, I don't, whatever, you can have those couple pounds. We'll fight at 158. And he shows up to weigh-ins 2 pounds over. And I'm like, what the hell, dude? You know? So I told him, I was like, dude, get running. Like, go cut weight. And I look over and I see him eating. I'm like, Matt, I want my opponent to cut weight. And he walks over, he's like, I just started eating and drinking. I was like, all right, well, he's like, well, are we fighting or not? And I was like, I'll let you know in an hour when the time's over. And he just stood around eating and drinking for the rest of that time. And I felt disrespected, especially since he asked to fight me at 158 and he didn't make that. So I sat around. I sat around for that hour. And
so would you watch him eat Twinkies or something in that whole time?
No, I don't even know what he's eating. I think I watched him eat a cookie at one point, and I was like, dude, I can't wait to beat the bag out of you tomorrow. You know, you busted my boy Gary Carr's head open with a headbutt, so I'm gonna repay the favor with a kick to your chin.
Oh, so he fought Gary Carr at one time, huh?
Yes, yeah.
Was it a no decision because or because what was it? A no contest because he headbutted him?
No, it was a doctor stoppage. But the way he got the cut was from an accidental headbutt. But
so did Gary did Gary end up losing that fight from the headbutt?
Yeah. Gary ended up losing from that. So I think I repaid the favor.
Nice, man. Well, Gary had a great night himself.
Man, I love that guy. You know, he's by far one of my favorite training partners. Dude's just a workhorse.
Now, how many people did you have from your camp, from the am I saying it right? ZMBJJ? How many fighters from there are on the card?
I believe there were 10.
Wow!
I think there were 10.
Holy shit! How many? How was the record? How'd you do?
I think we went 5-5 as a team, but you know, everybody fought their hearts out. Everybody did their best. You know, I couldn't be happier and more proud to train with that group of guys. There's just no other team I'd want to fight for.
Excellent. How proud were they of you? Are you the youngest fighter that was fighting that night for them?
You know, I must be right there. If I'm not the youngest, I'm the second youngest for sure.
Well, I mean, they can only be 1 year younger than you, 18, right?
19 now, yeah.
Yeah, you're 19, but I mean, you know, unless there was an 18-year-old fighter there, so you're.
Right.
Are you the youngest in the gym that actually fights in the cage as far as amateurs?
I think I am, yeah.
There you go, my man. So you had your coach in there too that had a great fight, man. What'd you think of that? Because when I talked to you after the fight, you were like you were high all over that. My coach, Jesse, you were like awesome.
Dude, you know, Jesse Erickson, he's, you know, when I first came into like NEF, like when I was, you know, young, when I was just watching it, Jesse Erickson, you know, he was like one of my idols. You know, him coming out to the Mortal Kombat, I was just like, dude, this dude's a killer. And, you know, like I got to meet him, like I started training down at CM, and I was like, dude, he's a nice guy too. So, you know, me and Jesse have really clicked. And, you know, I wasn't surprised. Nobody from CM was surprised Jesse won. We all knew that Jesse had it in him, and he works hard enough that he can finish that fight. Jesse can beat anybody. You know, so I was super happy for Jesse. I can't say enough good words about him. You know, I love that guy.
Excellent, man. Well, you know, he had a great win against a huge prospect there in Harvey, man. That was really good. Good for him, man. You know, I can't wait. I'm going to be talking to him at the end of the show, figuring out what's going on with him. But as far as you, my friend, 5-0, I know you got a busy life outside the cage doing a bunch of stuff. But what's going on with you? I know, you know, they had some announcement fights coming up in April. What's your timeline? When are you planning on doing it? And is there a belt that you can fight for or jump on or ask to fight for?
So here's the thing. I don't really want the belt. I don't know if I said it to you or Ryan Jarrell, but you know, I'm so young that I just want to take my career slow, and I don't want to be the guy that's chasing belts. Um, so I'm just worrying about getting better, and later on, when I feel like the time is right for me to fight for a belt, that's when I'll do that. But I am fighting in April for NEF. I'm not allowed to say who the opponent is, but I'm excited to get back in there up in 1-0.
Where's my beans thing? Where's my friggin' beans thing? I lost my beans thing. I I have like a little I got the beans little friggin' video that I play every so often when there's kind of beans flowing.
Yeah, right.
Well,
Right.
you know, you are fighting there, so that's half the beans. But you're gonna have to be. I mean, you're gonna be fighting somebody good, I would imagine, because you know, as you're you progress, you want killers in there, and the way you look in there, man. I'm watching your fight again. I watched your fight about 15 times, the ending and everything, because you know when you come up to me, I have to. You came right up to me. I was like, I got chills from it.
That's awesome, man. You know, I was really excited.
Now, so in April, man. Now, how far is that from you? Because I know, Portland's basically not too far from the main line. Maybe 40 minutes. When I crossed over, how far is the next event from where you are?
It's actually about the same distance.
Okay.
It's about 2.5, 3 hours away. So I'm kind of like right in the middle of the state.
Well, that's not too bad. I mean, it's a 4.5. I think it's a 4.5 hour drive for me, which
No, that's nuts. That's terrible.
Well, I'm going to be taking. I was supposed to go out with go up with my girlfriend over the weekend, but she had some family stuff to take care of. So she's definitely going to be making the next trip because I'm not driving. She's going to be driving me.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Well, here's the thing too. The whole ride home, I want to like edit stuff from the fights. I want to like if I do an interview, I want to be able to do it on the fly, and I can't be doing it when I'm driving. So I kind of need a taxi.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So my man, so April is it. I can't wait, brother, because I'm definitely going to be there. When you do know your opponent though, right?
I do know who my opponent is. Yeah.
Well, as soon as Matt lets you release that and stuff like that, we definitely got to get another interview in here and pump that shit up because I'm sure it's going to be a huge matchup.
Absolutely, for sure.
Awesome, my man. Well, what's left for you the rest? I know you've been training. I actually talked to your BJJ coach today when I was at work. We were messaging back and forth. And he had nothing but great things to say about you. And then he told me like he was just about to go beat you up after I got off the texting. Did you get beat up today, or was it today? Did you train today?
I think that was yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Yeah, I went down. I was at Famoso BJJ with Jason Eric Bell. I do a lot of my when I work late, I go over there and train with him. A lot of privates with him. So great coach. He's super knowledgeable. You know, a lot of people don't think our views go along, but you know, it's just being good people. You know.
Yeah, he was really cool when I talked to him, and he really appreciative of the shine that you're getting, not just by me, but all these other podcasts and interviews you're getting, and it's only going to be getting bigger and bigger because that card blew up Saturday night. It was really something special, and throwing video and throwing little clips here and there all over social media, people get attracted to that, and they see these 5-0 amateurs like you, just finishing people. They're going to get on your back, brother. So get ready for a little wave of media.
Absolutely, and I appreciate everything you do. It's awesome to have that in New England.
Excellent. Well, before I let you go and give shout-outs, we're going to be, right now we're in a process of building a big New England hub site, and it's going to be something that you guys, you younger kids and fighters are really going to enjoy because it's going to be focusing a lot on the new fighters here and kind of the future of MMA in New England.
That's dope. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, dude, I get chills. I've been seeing some like rough things, videos, and different things. He's been the dude that's putting it together has been showing me, and it's like I'm just getting excited, so excited. It's gonna be great.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, last thing, my friend, throw them shout outs, thank yous, and last words before I let you go.
I'd like, always NEF, Nick DeSalvo, Matt Peterson. You guys are great. You guys put on the best shows in New England. I'd like to thank Eric McLean from Gaskill Screen Printing. He prints all my walkout shirts. Dude, they're sick. Couldn't ask for a better shirt guy and friend. Famoso BJJ with Jason Eric Bell. Get there, get good. CMBJJ, my main team. Those guys, killers, all of them. Jesse Erickson, can't wait to listen to you tonight. I love fighting on you, man. April, be ready, because shit's going to go down.
Oh, I thought you were saying April as in a girl's name, but you mean April the month. Like, who's April? Yeah. That's awesome, brother. Well, I'll definitely be there, but we'll be talking soon, man. Hopefully, what is it? Where are we? Not even a quarter into February. When is the April what? When is the card? April what?
April 18th.
Oh, so it's out there. So we got a while away. He might not let you announce that for a little while. He's got to save some of the, he's got to save some of the beans, you know what I mean? Can't give them all out, you know?
For sure.
Awesome, my man. Anyone else? Anything? Oh, you already said it. April, watch out. All right. Nate, dude, thank you so much, man, for calling in, and thanks for the show, and thanks for the time, and just let me hang out with you and just pick your brain.
Hey, thank you. I really appreciate what you do. It's just a great thing to have, and like I said, I'm just super thankful.
Awesome, my man. Well, I'll keep doing it as long as you kids keep coming up the ranks and giving me someone to cover. You know what I mean? So thanks so much, Nate. Have a great night, man. And as soon as something pops up, or you want to just chat on Messenger, shoot me a message, man. I'm always there, and I love the chat.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, my man. You have a good night.
You too.
Hey, and any chatter it up on the comments here. These people are kind of like they're sleeping.
All right, I will for sure.
All right, my man. I'll talk to you later.
Absolutely. All right, bye.
Later. All right. Mike Bezanson, give me about 3 minutes, and I'm going to call you on Messenger. I'm just going to play Nate's video real quick here to go. I friggin' love that. 5-0, baby, let's go, he says. That was friggin' awesome. I'm concentrating on content. Travis Lazar. Travis, ask some questions, will ya? Ask some questions so I have questions. People, Mike Bezanson's coming on. All class Bezanson. Ask me some questions on the comments to ask him. Because I just interviewed the dude a week and a half ago. I've asked him everything. I'm going to talk to him a little bit to fight, but if you want to ask him something, throw it out there. Bezanson! Did I say it wrong, Mike? All right. Let me get his picture up because we are calling him. Oh, wrong. Where are you? Mike. There's the handsome devil right there. There he is. All right, Mike, I'm going to call you in like 2 minutes, buddy. I'm going to call you in 2 minutes. So anyway, Nathan is awesome, brother. The kid's really, really, really a good kid, but he gets in that cage, man. It's not fun to watch. So, with that said, Mike Bezanson, all class. How do you say it? Bezanson is up next. Another first round finish. He holds the Combat Zone welterweight amateur title. What's next for him? When I talked to him about a week before the fights, he wants to collect belts. He wants to fight the best. He's in no hurry. to turn pro. But things change after fights, after you have a great fight like that. We don't know what's next for Mike Bezanson. But we're going to talk to him next and find out what's next for him. So ask some questions. Ask Mike. Oh, all right, I'll ask him. Ooh, look at that. Actually, he can see that. He can see that question right there. So I'm going to look him up on Messenger right now. Let me find him. Michael, where are you? Boom, boom. I got like 3 phones here, so. There he is. Calling now, Michael. Calling now. His coach messaged me today, too, to tell me thank you for, giving Mike some shine. Let me tell you, Mike has got a fan base. I mean, his videos blew up. Not that, Nate's and Jesse's videos didn't blow up, but Mike's got like friggin', I don't know if that dude's blowing up everywhere on social media. It's crazy. Well, he deserves it, but it's crazy. How do I get that? How do I get that kind of love? Call in now. You know how I get it? I keep covering these fighters in New England. That's how I get it. Shout out to my sponsors, Smith Anchor Printing and 24/7 Ink Mag. Check them out. They're tagged in this podcast. Check their stuff out. As far as Smith Anchor Printing, if you are a fighter and you don't have fight shirts, printed, anything like that, you need that done. Check them out. They are 100% like, you can count on them for anything. They will get it done. They will cater to you. They will talk to you on Messenger, find out exactly what you want. So check them out. If you're a fighter that doesn't have a t-shirt company, you never thought about it, and now you are thinking about it, check out Smith Anchor Printing. They've done a lot of fighters' shirts in New England already, and they're picking up steam. Get on board, because I endorse them, and any fighter that needs a t-shirt place, that's them. I pitch them to you. Check them out. Smith Anchor Printing. What's going on here? Why'd this happen? How do I do this? Oh, there we go. All right, so I'm calling Mike now. It's time. It's time. All right, Mike, all class. Bezanson. What's up, champ?
What's up? Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I hear you perfect.
Awesome, my man. What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm decent, dude.
Now,
I've just been waiting. I've been watching you.
have you been watching? Does it sound all right? Everything. I mean, I'm a spaz in nature, but does it look all right?
Everything looks good. I mean, other than that, dude that's to your left, my right on the screen looks like a whiteboard.
Yeah, that's what you. Dude, it's the light. It's the lighting.
Dude, we gotta do something about that.
Let me ask you a question. Can you tan? Are you a dude that can tan, or you sunburn and go right back to white?
Yeah, I tan just as good as a lobster. I turn red and peel it off, and it's white underneath. Pretty bad.
So you peel and you're back to white. I love it, dude.
White.
You need a spray tan. Just do the spray tan, brother. You're popular enough. You just do the spray tan. Go in once a week. You're all set. Dude,
that might work. We'll work on a spray tan sponsorship somewhere.
that's what I'm right there, brother. Work that. Shh, right now. Behind the scenes, work on that, dude. What are you eating on the plate? What'd you have on the plate? Would you try to feed your opponent at weigh-ins?
That was watermelon, and there's a funny story behind that. I don't know if you want me to tell it now or
no.
what's the deal.
Tell it right now. We're going from weigh-ins right to the fight. Tell it now.
All right. So the watermelon is one of the things that I actually requested Matt to have out for me 2 fights ago, but he forgot it, and it was deep. So this fight, I messaged him a little bit before, and I said that I had the memory like an elephant. I don't forget nothing. I didn't forget that he didn't put watermelon out. So he made sure 100% that there was watermelon this time around.
Is that right? Did he have like a whole bucket of it for you? Make sure you had enough?
No, but he's watching right now, so we'll have to make that the arrangement for the next fight.
There you go. Oh, all right. Well, we'll talk about that next fight after we talk about this fight up. So, dude, how was your experience? I mean, you fought for NEF before a few times now. How was your experience? I know you took a bunch of pictures. Who is your photographer? You had someone take pictures of you that are phenomenal. Who did that?
Joe Vigor.
Is that someone like a personal friend, someone that you hired to do that, or someone that just, is great at photography tell us about him.
Well, that sounds like it's a little bit of everything that you just said there. I mean, he's not my personal friend. Him and Greg know each other. Obviously, Greg being my coach, know each other, and I can't say enough good things about his photography. I mean, it's great work. What he does is great work. He doesn't get in your way, and he's respectful, and he's just getting into the fighting game as far as picture-wise. So he does a great job.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Welcome to come back anytime he wants.
Yeah, there was a couple of pictures that you took in cage when before fights that you posted out there that you were just looking out at the auditorium. Man, that was a real beautiful picture.
Yeah, that was pretty nice. I like it. He does good work. He really does. So
excellent.
He's one of my shout-outs for sure.
Awesome.
We'll put that out early.
Awesome. Well, dude, let's talk about the auditorium itself. Like, how was your experience, brother, before even the fight happened? I mean, what were you thinking in there? That place was gorgeous.
That place was nuts, man. Real quick, I just want to thank everybody for tuning into the channel. The live stream, real quick. Shout out to everybody that's in here. Don't be shy to leave comments. We can answer while we're going.
Exactly. There's already a couple of questions. I'll ask them in a couple of minutes once we get rolling here. But Mike, man, talk about what you're seeing in that cage when you look out there, man, and you see all those people. I mean, it's something different from when the lights are on and people are just starting to fill it in to, when you get in that cage and you look out there and it is packed.
Yeah, 100%. Before the fights, every time I try to, that's my new thing. I want to get that picture with me, with the place empty. And the reason I'm doing that, the reason I go in there is not to feel how comfortable the cage is, it's just to soak in and get a realization of how big and how lucky I am to be in that situation at that moment. And I want to soak in the whole experience. That place that was my favorite place to fight at so far, for sure. It was a beautiful place.
It was gorgeous, man. The place was rocking. You had a great fight in there. Let's talk about that fight, brother. We had an interview before. Your opponent, a big dude in a clinch, likes to land knees. You told me that you were going to go in there. You were excited to get in the clinch with him and exchange them knees to what he's good at. And you did it, man. Talk about that fight and how you felt. You before the fight, when we interviewed you, you said you had a couple of tricks up your sleeve. I think I saw you try to pull one off, but it wasn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't there. What was going on in there? Talk us through that fight.
I think I know exactly what moment you're talking.
gonna play your fight while you talk about it, all right?
All right. Yeah, get that photo of me out of here.
All right, she's all right. I should have ran that by you first. Next time you're on, I'll say I'll okay.
The real me right there. Real.
All right, go ahead. We got your playing, man. So talk us through this.
All right. Jeez. I don't know. I mean, like you said, I talked to you before. I wanted to work I was prepared for him to initiate the first contact and play a tight clinch game. I knew he wasn't going to sit. I think me initiating the first aggression kind of, I don't know, I wouldn't say it. I just think it disrupted his game plan a little bit, and I just kept pressure the whole time since the first strike. We did clinch up a little bit. He had to be putting back against the cage, and then they had a fight for underhooks and work it a little bit. And I was surprised he didn't throw more knees when he had that advantage on me right there. I was expecting knees a lot more.
How do you feel as far as strength wise? I mean, you're a big dude, man. As far as just looking at you compared to him, I mean, you are well put together as a huge man there for 170 pounds.
What was the question? Was it how did I feel like his strength was?
Yeah, how was his strength? Because you said when there was that. I think that was that spin there thing right there. You said he was when he had you up for a minute, you were expecting him to land some knees there. Did you feel like he really didn't have anything, like as far as strength to do it, or you maybe just took him out of his game plan?
I think I took him out of his game plan. I'm not saying he was. Of course, he was a little strong. I had to refresh the page so I can actually watch it and see what's going on.
Yeah, but it's a little delayed. Like the fight while you're watching it, and then while we're talking, it's a little delayed. I think.
Right. Yeah, that's fine. But it was just froze. I think he was a strong dude. His footwork's good. You can see he's nice. He's got good posture. Like I do think I disrupted his game plan a little bit. Obviously, that's my goal when I'm in there. When he had me pinned against the cage, he felt strong. That I wasn't trying to overexert myself as far as energy wise. I knew that I'm just going to fight for underhooks, but I'm not going to rush it. So I might as well keep composure, keep my heart rate down, and continue breathing. That's what I mean. If I wasted all my energy there and I was out of breath, then it would have done me no good.
So as far as you said you were going to do a couple of, you had a couple of tricks up your sleeve there, and did you throw any of them tricks out there? You said oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
That 720 thing that you see me do right there. So this whole rules thing with the amateurs and professionals, the elbows from the wrist to the shoulder make me really, really not cautious of what I'm throwing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I threw a spinning back fist and I clip him with my forearm and it stuns him and he doesn't want to continue fighting, I'm not saying he would do that personally, but if that was the case, that would technically be considered a loss for me. And that's how John Jones got his only loss, by an illegal strike. And that's not what I want to have on my record, you know what I mean? And I just wait. I did have some flashy stuff. I wanted to throw a roundhouse kick off the cage, but it never ended up presenting itself. It never presented itself. It's going to be one of those things that's perfectly set up for me to do, and it just wasn't at this time. But I got some tricks up my sleeve that I plan on doing that people are like, what in the hell is he doing? And if it lands, he's sick.
Now, when I saw you, like when you went to do that spin, and that's like, that's in your mind, does that affect like your flow in there when you feel like you can pull something off, and then in the back of your mind, like, well, what if, like you said, I hit him with an elbow and he can't continue? Does that's in your mind? Does that affect you at all in there? And if it does, as far as you turn it pro, you're going to be a whole different animal in there.
Oh, I cannot wait to. I always want to swear. I mean, I don't care if I swear, but I feel like if I swear, I don't know who's watching. I don't want to offend anybody, but I can't wait to throw elbows and knees. That's like, that just opens the spectrum of what I can do and what kind of things I can bring to the table. But as far as now, I'm in the amateurs. I gotta be cautious as to what I throw and when I throw it, because like I said, if I do that illegal knee essentially in amateurs or illegal elbow, then all shit could go downhill.
Yeah, exactly. And as far as like, I don't want to bring up the judging too much, but a couple of it was shady on Saturday night. So, that's in some fighters' minds too. They either got to finish the fight or got to be a little cautious in there at some point. So as far as winning that fight, brother, you get off and you look out into that crowd, man. What's going through your mind there? And then you got to talk after and talk on the mic and get it out there, man. What was said? Because I couldn't hear it.
I pretty much thanked Greg. I try to always thank my opponent, because without that opponent at that exact time, that exact situation would never happen. So I always got to show respect to the person that's on the other side of the cage, because he's the only one there doing it. You know what I mean? So that's what I said. I respected him, and I thanked him for being part of that. Also, I thank my team. The biggest thing that I said, and it's so hard for me to talk on that mic, I need to work on my mic cardio, because I can't even, I try to say a whole paragraph without breathing.
Hey, dude, that's like me when I ask a question. I ask like 7 questions in one.
It's bad. But the biggest thing, my most memorable moment of that whole night wasn't even the fight. It was after the fight, where I had asked everybody to take a moment of silence for the loved ones that we lost, and everybody in the room, or everybody in the auditorium, kind of came together at one time and did actually silence, and it was really nice. It was pretty cool. Really respectful for everybody out there.
It was a great crowd. It was a smooth night. It just was a beautiful night all together. Hey, Mike, I got a couple of questions for you before I let you give shout outs and stuff like that. And if there's beans you want to tell, but I got a couple of questions. One is from Matt Peterson, Mr. Neff himself. Ask Mike how he developed his obsession with watermelon.
My obsession with watermelon, how I developed. Well, when you do a weight cut like I do, imagine being trapped in the Sahara Desert with nothing for a week straight, and the first thing that you come up to is a watermelon next to a nice swim hole. That's exactly how I feel when I see watermelon after a weight cut.
Excellent. Does it have to be cut and peeled, or will you eat it whole?
You give me a whole watermelon, I'll eat the fucking green part too. I don't care. That thing looks like a gold nugget.
Dude, you're exactly right. When you are parched and you are spitting feathers out of your mouth, man, a watermelon does the trick.
It's perfect. It's a perfect medium because it's juicy enough where it's like when you chew it, it's giving you liquid and it's a solid. And
yeah.
I've noticed if I drink water right after a weight cut, it hits my gut, and it's like a bomb goes off. My stomach hurts, but if I eat a bunch of watermelon, it's giving me both nutritional values at one time.
Awesome. So right there, fighters, watermelon. Matt, that right there, Mike's telling you, watermelon has to be the weigh-in fruit for weigh-ins.
That's it. If you don't know, now you know.
Well, is there a watermelon sponsor you can get out there, Mike? Can you actually?
New Hampshire.
Can you actually fit any more logos or any more stuff on that banner you got?
Oh, absolutely. We'll get a 20 by 20 up there if we need to.
Take the whole case. I got a question from Travis Lazat. It's a matchup question. He's asking, what do you think about a matchup with Al Kanani? Al's a 155 pounder at heart.
Yeah, he's a 155 pounder, but he's ranked number 1 on 170. So if he wants to put that weight vest on just to fight me at 170, he's more than welcome to anytime.
Well, here you go, Mike. Right there, beans. Where's my beans fucking thing right here? I don't have it. So anyway, because wasn't he supposed to fight? He was supposed to fight on the card, but his fight fell through. His opponent fell through.
Right.
Some people were giving him, giving him a little heartache because the fight that he was scheduled to have, the fighter didn't have many fights or something. That they were saying he was too much of a veteran for this fight. But it's hard for him to get fights. Nobody wants to fight him. So this is a potential matchup that you would take if it was thrown on the table at 170.
I'll take any fight at 170. It don't matter who the hell it is.
There you go. Nice question, Travis.
But he is, he's ranked 1, but he's not a 170 fighter, and I'm ranked 3. So technically, I mean, realistically, I don't understand how he's ranked 1. I think he had one 170 fight. I don't know.
Well, Mike,
but yeah, if he wants to put on the pounds to fight me at 170, I'm here. I'm waiting.
April.
Not something.
April.
Jesus,
Matt.
He don't have enough time to gain that much weight.
Well, you know what? He might turn pro because so many fights friggin' fall out through him. You never know. But a big fight with you. A big fight with you would be awesome, man. So, we're gonna, we'll talk to Matt about that. Anyone asking it? Let's get that fight. He's been looking for an EME fight. Here it is. There you go. Al Kanani against Mike.
You know what's funny? I actually talked to him. So after the fights, me and my friends went to like this dance thing bar. It was a bar, but he was there, and I seen him, and we talked to each other for a little bit. And he was talking to me about how his fight broke down and stuff like that. I don't know if this is too behind the scenes, but he was telling me like he said something about 170 and how he's a 155er, but he would love to, if he weighed 170, he'd love to fight me. So I mean, it's up to him. If you want to, be my guest. Right here.
Dude, that would be a fucking awesome. There you go, Matt. There you go. All right, we're going to push that fight for you, man. We'll push that fight.
It is what it is. I mean, if he wants it, he knows I'm right here. But if he doesn't, still got nothing but respect for the dude. So I'm just guy that's not gonna say no to a 170 match. Like I said, I'm trying to fight the best, and he's ranked 1. So
Yeah, and he's a great guy. He's a great guy. So it'll be a great great lead up.
No,
And
he's a great guy.
yeah. So awesome, man. So April is your timeline. Are you like NEF it is, right? Or could you be ready to fight between then?
Well, Combat Zone's got an event in April. I'm not saying anything right now. I'm not. After every fight, me and my coaches would take a week off. Not a week off. A week break from any what's it called there? Agreements
Yes.
to any organization. We're trying to figure out. We're just going to try to. We're not going to rush in anything. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's there, it's there. April's 8 weeks from now.
Well,
we got time.
Well, not to brush off NEF, but that Al Kanani and you fight can happen anywhere. You know what I mean? Or you know what I mean? So it's a huge fight, or you fighting anyone's a huge fight, but you deserve. You were talking about that. You wanted belts and stuff like that. Do the belts still matter, or is it just the biggest fights like number 1 in like Al, or number 2 or number 4?
I mean, if Duncan Smith wants to get out of bed and put his title on the line, then I'm right here too. It doesn't really matter.
There you go, man. I love it, man. Well, you were talking about that before this fight even happened, that you want to fight, anyone that has that, that gold around their waist, you want to fight them, because basically that's the best out there, or just about the best out there.
Yeah, I can assure you that I'm not going to be chasing down 0-3s. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. All right, Mike, I gotta get Jesse up here, but before I got one more question.
Yes,
Nate White's asking, what's your timeline as far as pro? You said you're not in a rush, and so do you have a timeline? Will it be before the end of 2020? How's that?
We'll see.
I love it.
Like I said, if I'm not in a rush. I'm not in this for the money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm in this because I love it and I feel at home doing it. The only reason I would rush to being a pro is simply to throw elbows and knees and knee people in the face. I mean, realistically, I can upgrade my arsenal so much by just being able to do different strikes at different angles. It's way better for me.
Excellent, man. Well, I can't wait for either one, your next amateur fight or when that pro debut happens. I'll be at either one, man. So
You're gonna be at both of them.
Oh, I'll be. Yeah, maybe they'll both happen at the same night with a crazy guy like you. You know. All right, Mike. Shout outs, thank yous, and last words before I let you go.
This is super random, but this is actually to Jesse, and mad respect to him. I actually saw him at Five Guys after we're talking like 1 o'clock in the morning, I think. And I came up to him and said congratulations on the fight. He came up to me a little bit after and showed a little bit of respect. Me and him have actually never talked before, I don't think, personally. And I've seen him at fights ever since I fought the Jeff Dustin fight. But yeah, a lot of respect for just the little conversation we had at Five Guys, as little as it sounds. But yeah, good fight for him. I congratulate him on his win. That's pretty badass.
Yeah, that was a great win.
Shout outs on my team. Shout out to every single person that came up to that event. But bigger shout out to every single person who has had my back or showed support through any social medias, or even especially the people that came to Mural Auditorium that night. Just shout out to everybody that's my family, my team, Greg. Everybody was a big part. Mike Newton, Sampson, Ian Milligan. He always wants his name shouted out, so I figured I'd throw Ian Milligan up there and a little brat. Love you. But anyway, yeah. Oh, and Joe Bigger for the amazing photography, and Matt Freakinson for letting this whole thing develop, and Domenico for being a stud. Hey, when are you gonna send me one of them T-shirts, by the way, so I can represent?
What do you want? What do you want? The one I'm wearing? You want one like that?
What size is that you're wearing right now?
Well, I'm 172 pounds, brother. But you probably walk around about 185. Your guns would be showing off. And look at it. I got little guns, man. You want this one? You want the one with my DNA on it?
Yeah, put a mark on the right shoulder so I know that's exactly the one. You can send me that one. I'll take it.
You want this one?
I'll take that one, brother.
All right, watch. You want me to put a pen mark on it?
Put a pen mark on it and send it, brother.
Wait a minute. Let me get a pen.
And I'm gonna and hear me out. The next time we podcast live, I'm gonna be wearing that shirt.
There it is. It's got an X on the right shoulder. People, I'm gonna take it off right now. All right, man.
You take that shirt off right now. The views are going up.
All way down. All way down. Well, dude, I'll send it to you, man, and send me your address on Messenger when we get off.
All right, brother. I'm looking forward to it. That's funny.
That's friggin', dude. You're gonna look like fucking Daisy Duke wearing this. It's gonna go up to your belly button.
Yeah, I'm not agreeing to wearing the shorts.
All right, my man. Anything else?
No, bro. That's good. Till next time. We'll keep the fans and family curious for the next one.
Excellent, man.
We'll just wait on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Appreciate the time tonight, man.
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk as soon as you know something. I mean, we got a bunch of cards coming up, but chat. The fight's a long ways away, and before you announce something, but let's keep in touch before then.
Sounds good, man.
All right, my man. Thanks for everything, brother, and keep killing it out there, man. You got a huge fan base, and you're producing in that cage, brother. So it's all growing. It's going to be something special for you this year.
I appreciate it, brother.
All right,
Have my respect.
Have a great night, and tell your coach thank you. I talked to him for a couple of minutes today. All these coaches are reaching out to me. They're all great guys, man. I appreciate.
He's probably watching right now, actually. But yeah, I'll tell him.
All right, my man. Take care, brother. Hey, as soon as you hang.
Hey, real quick. Thank you. Thanks everybody for coming to support Domenico or me in this live stream tonight, and also anybody that's going to be watching Jesse Erickson next, and whoever watched Nate White previously.
Awesome, my man. Hey, guys, you killed it tonight. I probably got. I think I got the most views ever. I gotta have you on every week, all you people. Especially when you have my shirt on. Forget it. We're gonna blow up the internet.
Oh, dude, are you kidding me?
All right, I gotta let you go, or we could talk all night. I gotta get Jesse on because I've never.
I don't want to take any of his time, man.
All right, later on, brother.
Later, brother.
All right, let me last thing before I don't even know. I gotta find Jesse on there. So Mike, where is it? Mike's fight end right there. I'm gonna play this and get Jesse right.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna hang up. Later, bro. All right, I am getting Jesse, the Viking. I didn't know his nickname was the Viking. That's how much I know. I can't wait to talk to him because I've never spoken to Jesse before, and I know he has a whole corral of you fighters out there that he trains and kind of takes care of. So let me tell him I'm calling him now. I'm late with him. I was supposed to have him on 12 minutes ago, but that's the way the show happens. You get in a kind of groove. And Jesse Erickson.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how are you? Wow, you sound nice and clear, man. I love it. I love that. That's because you're a veteran. Dude, let me get you a picture up, and then we'll start talking, man. Thank you for calling in, man. It's my pleasure to talk to you the first time.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
Definitely, my man. Oh, that's your I gotta find your picture. It's a good picture. There you are, right there, man. Well, thanks for calling, brother. But first of all, congratulations on a huge win, man, Saturday. Beating a big prospect in New England and beyond. Dude, how do you feel about that performance? And, beating a kid that's, on his way to bigger and better things from New England.
Yeah, no, it was obviously like a huge win for me. It's nice when you have a plan and everything kind of comes together. A lot of credit to my coaches. I felt really confident with the training that I had leading into this fight. Jonathan Dupree, Adam, Darren, everyone at Recon that helped me get ready for this fight. It was just, I just felt like more prepared than I've ever really been before, and I think it showed.
Now, tell me about your camp, Central Maine BJJ. Is that where you start? Like, is that where you started your training? Like, tell me the progress and just your background with that camp.
Yes. So I'm like the head MMA coach at Central Maine Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I also teach no-gi there, and I run a lot of the youth programs. I've been over there for, I think, 10 years now, doing jiu-jitsu training, getting ready for fights. Like when we first started doing it, there wasn't really a lot of MMA gyms in the area, and I really wanted to fight. And it all kind of came together at the right time. Like I found CMBJJ and NEF was being like formulated, and I talked to Matt Peterson, and he got me set up with my first fight for NEF1, and the rest is history.
Now, when you started fighting for Matt Peterson and Nick DeSalvo, it was for the early NEF, which was called something else. Was Matt Peterson involved then, or was it Nick DeSalvo, or were they together right from the first one?
As far as I know, they've been together since NEF1. Since I think they called it. There's still New England fights, but they called it like Fight Night 1 or something.
Yeah, that's what I saw. So it was like Fight Night 1 through 6, and I think they started calling it NEF, like numbering them. It was NEF 7. I think they started calling them. That's what Tapology says anyway.
Yeah. That sounds about right. Something like that.
Yeah. It was like 6 fights under that. What you're talking about, then it turned to NEF, and then it's been NEF ever since. And you fought, how many fights you have? 20 fights or so?
I have
professional
18 pro fights and 6 AMI fights.
So you start
all but 2 of them were for NEF.
Yeah, exactly. 1 Bellator and a promotion in Canada, I do believe.
Correct.
Awesome, my man. So you are like a fixture in NEF, man. Do you work for them too on your off days? I mean, you fought for them. What? How many did you? Oh, you didn't fight for them when you were AMI because they weren't around then, right?
No, I did fight for them, Amy. That's where I started. I started my career with New England Fights.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to fight before NEF was conceived, but it kind of fell through. And actually, Matt Peterson was the one that was helping me like book that fight too. So he's been helping me since before he even had his own promotion. So I'm super grateful for everything that he's done for me and the sport of MMA in the state, and just for martial arts in Maine in general.
They are killing. NEF is killing it. I mean, as far as you've been in it a while. You get a lot of these kids that are coming up in the game, and they're fighting for NEF, and they're getting this social media presence. They're getting the shine that NEF puts on the fighters, write-ups, media, everything. How much is this a wow factor to you from, when you started?
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said for the promotion that they put into these shows. It's not as easy as a lot of people think, like, oh, well, this guy fights this guy, and then that's the end of it, and they show up and fight. Like, they do a lot of work behind the scenes. Like, they've got, professional photographers and videographers putting together, like, incredible promotional materials and posters and photo shoots. Like, they're really running, like, something special, I feel.
It's amazing. I mean, the quality of work they're doing is basically, UFC, ESPN quality. I mean, it's making New England shine. I mean, it's just not NEF. There's other promotions that are, following in footsteps of the bigger promotions and adding more in social media. But NEF is definitely ahead of the curve, and they look like they can't really. I mean, it's perfect, the shit they put out there. Like, the production value is incredible.
Absolutely.
Now, As far as Merrill Auditorium, you being a Maine dude, have you ever been there? Have you seen it? I mean, I think that was the first time they've had MMA there. Have you been to that auditorium for anything from any other shows, concerts, or anything like that?
No, I've never stepped foot in the building before. When I saw the venue, like pictures of it and stuff, and heard that they were doing it there, I knew I like wanted to be on that card. Like it just looked like it was going to be something special, and I wanted to make sure that I was a part of it.
Well, dude, it was freaking crazy in there. How great did you feel? I mean, you fought a ton of times. You fought for NEF, 99% of your career, and they've had great shows in all over Maine. But that, I've only been to like 3 NEF shows in three different places. This regional show Saturday night was the most gorgeous show I've ever been to on the regional circuit. As far as just the place itself was a gorgeous place. I mean, I was in awe the whole time, just looking at the ceilings, looking at the crowd, the balconies, and just, behind the stage, just the way the backdrop looked. And man, how did you feel in that cage looking out and just seeing that?
Oh, it was so cool. I got there early, obviously, for like pre-fight physicals and all the, you would show up 8 hours before you fight. But I got there and I went right to my wife's seat and like took a picture and sent her it. And I was like, look, this is going to be your view for the fights. And I was just kind of taking it all in, and like it just motivated me even more. Like just made me like really excited to, perform.
Well, you had a ton of kids from your camp, ton of kids that you brought up, you got ready, helped get ready for this card, man. How special did it feel to have a lot of these young studs that you're in your camp weekly, daily, hourly, performing on a stage like that?
Yeah, it was awesome to, be to kind of like, march into battle with them rather than just coach them for a show here. At the same time, it kind of sucked because I couldn't like corner them, I've done that in the past. I've had shows where I've cornered, I kid you not, like 6-8 fights, and then fought myself professional at the end of the card, and it just completely drained me, and it definitely had an impact on my performance. So big credit to one of my fellow coaches at Central Maine Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Dustin Vinot. He really picked up the slack and made sure that everyone was taken care of and ready to put on a show that night. So he really helped out a lot. So thank you, Dustin.
Excellent. Well, my man, let's get to that fight, because you were co-main event on a huge card, a great card, a beautiful card. Let's talk about that fight. You went against Josh Harvey, a huge up-and-coming, I wouldn't say up-and-coming, he's been around for a while now, beating up people. You took out a huge prospect here in New England, man. How do you feel about that? And how do you feel about the fight itself and how it went?
I feel really good. I feel like I had a game plan to get it down like as quickly as possible, by any means necessary. I absolutely didn't want to strike with him at all. Just like I feel like I had the biggest advantage on the ground, and I was like, I'll pull guard if I have to this fight. And it's funny because it's something that I always talk to my guys, and I'm like, if you ever pull guard in an MMA, like, don't you ever fucking pull guard in an MMA fight. And then here I am, like, breaking up. There are, some circumstances and special scenarios where it makes sense to break the rules a bit,
Well, yeah, man, when you feel it, and it worked out.
For sure. I mean, I can see the video. Like, there's one point here where he gets a body lock on me, and then I was like, take me down now. Like, I couldn't pummel back in real easy. He was doing a good job pressuring me against the wall, and I was like, he wants to, so I might as well do it on my own terms and grab this overhook and pull guard and start attacking right away. And it worked out.
Definitely, man. Now you're gonna hit the ground pretty soon here, but it took a little bit to get him locked in that, let's talk about when you had him on the ground, because, it was hard for us to see. We knew you were, going after that arm. But tell us, some of the stuff that you were doing to get him to release that when you eventually flipped him over and he had a tap. I mean, what was some of them transitions and stuff? I mean, because they were beautiful as far as watching him. It looked like he was going to get out here and there, but I mean, you kept him locked in there, man. Talk about what you were doing there.
Yeah, so when I get a hold of that Kimura grip, the Kimura trap system here, like I'm like a dog with a bone. Like I'm not letting go of that. I'm going to keep transitioning and flowing through until I find something. So once I got that Kimura grip on his arm, I was like, I just got to be patient here and keep cycling through different things. So like right here, I was thinking I might try a flower sweep. I reached under his arm. He elbowed me in the face, and I went, maybe I won't do that. So then I went back to guard here, and I can't see exactly from this angle when I locked up the Kimura, but once I got it, I started like pulling on that, and like I'll keep the Kimura like kind of like bent and yank on it, and just like basically like pull at the socket, like trying to tear it out of the shoulder, and a lot of times that'll strip the grip. But he was doing a good job like stacking me up here. So it was hard to like pull that free, and he was a strong dude, so I couldn't like break the grip easy. So I like here I tried to like transition to the back, and then I would try for like a belly down arm bar, back to like a traditional arm bar. And then once I got his grip stripped, I think he knew his grip was stripping, and he had to like make a move. So he tried to roll out of it, and I just followed through and transitioned into the arm bar and got the tap. So I think you can see he taps like mid roll, because we're fighting, like I apply a submission 100% to, with bad intentions, and it worked out here. So
awesome.
But yeah, it was a lot of, it wasn't like I just went for an arm bar, like, and I think he would have pulled out if he could have, but I had like a really good bite on that arm. I had a figure 4, and I just kept working it. So dude, there we go. Yep.
It was a thing of beauty, my man. And like you said, you just weren't, going after it. You were taking your time there, man. You just put on a clinic there. Like you just told us a whole jiu-jitsu lesson right there, which was awesome, man. What'd you feel from him? I mean, you said he was a strong dude, and I'm sure you've been in that position in other fights before. What'd you feel from Josh? I mean, because, that he's fought a lot of skilled BJJ guys and been in positions like that and been able to kind of get himself out. What'd you feel as far as him and, taking out a guy like that, man? You must feel really good about yourself that you can kind of hang in there with a lot of these big up and coming guys that are onto bigger and better things.
Yeah, like not to like toot my own horn or anything like that, but like I'm, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and if I can get the fight to the ground and start attacking submissions, like I'm gonna do it. Like it would be silly not to, play to my strengths. But yeah, Josh was doing a good job, like following me and trying to avoid the submissions and stacking me and keeping me pressed against the cage. But I think at one point I just kind of got ahead of him in transitions and was able to strip that grip, and that's when the end came. But this is nothing to him. He's still 7-1. The UFC could sign him today, and it wouldn't be a thing. Like the dude's gonna learn a ton from it and come back harder. I feel bad for the next guy who fights. He was super classy throughout. Like he was kind at weigh-ins, post fight, during. Like there was no bad blood or anything like that. Like you got nothing bad to say about him.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man, and it happens, man. It is what it is, but it's a big win for you. Now, your previous fight was a title fight that seemed to be, a little premature, stopped. How do you feel? Not to go too much back into that fight, but do you feel that you had more in that fight and you kind of took it out in this fight?
Yeah, for sure, man. I think that was definitely like fair play to Dylan in that fight. Like that was my first time fighting in the smaller NEF cage, and I wasn't really like ready for it. The plan in that fight was to stay long with my strikes, and I stepped back and like stepped right against the cage and was like, oh shit, we're out of room. And he threw it, I think it was like a straight right, and just caught me right on the button and dropped me. And then I was in on a leg, and he was starting to hit me, and then the ref stopped it. I thought it was pretty quick for like a pro title fight, but no excuses. Fair play to him. I shouldn't have got myself into that position to begin with. But yeah, it's like I like taking fights like this. Like I went from Dylan Lockhart to Josh Harvey because it's like dangerous fights like that are what excite me. I'm 32 years old now. Like I'm not fighting like every 2 months like I used to when I was a little bit younger. I'm going to take the fights that excite me, and I'm going to continue to fight high level competition when I do fight.
Excellent. Well, looking at your record and like you said, you were taking like a lot of fights. I think like in 2016, 15, and then you started, sporadically taking fights, maybe 2 a year, and then 1 here and there. Fights falling through, of course, that happened in there that we don't even know about. But a big win like this, what are you looking for as far as your timeline? Are you looking to get back in there? You're going to take a card off and then come back the next one? Like, what are you thinking?
I'm definitely going to take not like a crazy amount of time off, but I'm definitely going to take at least a card off. Like I said, we had like 11 or 12 guys on this card here, man, and I feel bad that I wasn't able to like corner and coach them as much as I'd like to be able to, because I was focused on my own fight. So I want to get back to them and make sure that they're getting everything that they need, and get a couple, a smaller crew ready for the next NEF in Bangor.
Excellent, my man. Well, how'd you feel about your crew performing? Talking to Nathan, he said you had like 10 fighters on that card. I think he said you guys came out 500, but everyone performed in there. It was a great, flawless night as far as, quick finishes, just the flow of the card, and just, it was just beautiful. How'd you think about your camp, and talk about how proud you are of them?
Oh yeah, I'm super proud of everybody. I always tell the guys, like, the only thing I ask is that you don't quit, and nobody did that. Some people got caught. If you get submitted and I don't consider that quitting. You know what I mean? Like, the game is over. He caught you. Like that's it. Like, that's different. But like, nobody like went out there and just, I'm all done fighting. Like, lift your chin, let them sink in the rear naked choke kind of thing. Like, I can tell when someone gives it their all. And as far as I could tell, everybody on the card from CMB to J fought to the best of their ability. Win, lose, or draw, I'm proud of every one of them.
Excellent. Well, one last person to talk about before I let you go and give shout outs out there. Gary Carr. Let's talk about that dude. Like, you said you're 32. You're slowing down, taking fights. This guy's 58 years old. He fought a friggin' 3-round war where he looked like he was going to finish that fight a few times in there, man. Let's talk about this dude, because I've only seen him. I only found out about him, I think, 2 NEF cards ago when I was there. Because, I'm starting to learn more about, you guys up north and covering you. But, dude, tell us about this guy.
Gary he's just such a positive energy to have in the gym, man. He shows up. I wish I could get some of the young people to work as hard as Gary works, man. Like, he's in the gym every day, whether he's got a fight or not, working hard, learning, doing every class. You go there any day of the week and you see Gary Carr doing kickboxing, doing no-gi, doing MMA rounds. Like, he loves it, man. He eats, sleeps, and breathes it. And on top of his full-time job as a teacher, he's an inspiration to myself and many others, and I'm proud to call him a friend and teammate.
He's wonderful, man. To watch him and just the story, just being his age and loving it, and just the things he has to say, and the crowd that backs him, man. It's something special. How long's he been training in MMA or BJJ or anything like that? How long's he been in this?
I want to say about 4 or 5 years, and maybe not even that long. But he came to us with no training, and he came right up to me like early on, like first week there, and was like, "Hey, I just want to let you know that I want to fight." And I was like, I don't know how old he was at the time, 55 or whatever, like 54, and I just, I said, "All right, man, yeah, let's just get some consistent training in first, like just like I would with anybody else. Like you got to show that you can do it in the gym." And he did everything I asked. He showed up to all the practices. He was always looking for like extra work, and he makes weight every time. Like he's an example to a lot of people in the gym. And after a couple years went by, I was like, dude, I got to give this guy a fight. Like he's done everything I asked.
Oh no, it's time. Oh no, it's time.
Yeah, it's time. And every time he fights, like I'm like having like heart palpitations like the whole time. Like it was like the most. That was my warm up for NEF42 was just watching him fight. I was like, man, I'm so like my heart's racing right now. Like I'm so worked up. It's so much harder to like watch people you care about fight than it is to like fight yourself, in my opinion. But yeah, so I'm super happy to see him get the win, and he's so well spoken after the fight, like on the mic, and I'm just over the moon for Gary. Super happy for him. That was the performance of the night right there.
Definitely was, man. That was a great fight. I mean, the dude, he's fighting people half his age, a quarter of his age sometimes, man. So
every time.
So
he's fought for like 20-something.
Yeah, when are we gonna get at least a 40-year-old guy in there? Any gyms out there got 40-year-olds want to fight Gary Carr out there, dude?
He'd be insulted. Like, that's the thing too, because like at first, yeah. So when I'm getting ready to book him for his first fight, and I'm like, Gary, I'm gonna try to find you somebody that like maybe like a little bit older that's got it like on their bucket list, like something like that. And he's like, he nodded and everything. He listened. He's always receptive to what I have to say. And then like the next day, he came up to me and goes, "I don't want to fight an old guy." And I was like, "All right, Gary, what do you want? Do you want to fight a 20-year-old or
you want to fight me?
See what we can find for you, man." And he did, and he won. He won his first two, and then he caught a headbutt or something dumb, and they stopped the fight against Brian or whatever. And then he came back and won this one. So like I'm super happy for him.
Hey, maybe we can have a rematch with Brian. How's would you say? Nah. What's his timeline? Like when's he like as far as when does. Like, how do you decide, like, when he's fighting again? Or does he tell you?
I can't make these guys stop fighting. Otherwise, Gary would have done it after the first one. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm, so, I can't decide for him when he's done, I'd like to see that day come soon. I think he's proven everything that he needs to prove. And, I'd like to see him just be part of the gym in the near future, just, as a training partner and as a coach and helping corner and things like that. But, that's not up to me. It's Gary's life and he gets to decide. Nobody else gets to tell you when you can or can't fight. It's up to you.
Well, the sound of the crowd Saturday night, they're not gonna let him stop at all, man. So he is an inspiration, like you said, and he gets that crowd on fire. And it was a pleasure to watch, like not only all your fighters and you, just the whole card in general, man. It was a total success and a beautiful night to watch, man. I had smile from ear to ear, just like watching all that and being that close, and just the place. It just was a special night.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was incredible. I'm so happy that I was able to be a part of it, and it was a night to remember.
Excellent, my man. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you, and for the first time, I think I said hi to you, for the first time at that fight against Dylan, like, you know what I mean, and
yeah.
And I talked to you for briefly.
Yeah, we just never really like got to talk. But...
Yeah, well, you're always busy. You're either fighting or you're coaching or whatever, man. But I had to get at the coach. I'm talking to all your kids here, all your fighters, man. I have to talk to the coach, man, especially coming out of a great win like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, thank you for, chatting with me and having me on. I appreciate it. And thanks for talking to, some of my other fighters. Like I heard you had Nate White on too. Like he's going places, man. Like that kid's, he's well spoken and smart kid, and he trains hard. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's next for him too.
Awesome. Yeah, he's blowing up my feeds right now, talking to Mike Bezanson, who had nothing but great things. He had nothing but great things to say about you. He met you he saw you at Five Guys or something early in the morning. You guys, he said he had a chat with you, and he said you were a great guy, and he enjoyed your chat.
Yeah, no, it was good talking to him. He beat my buddy Greg from Recon, and I just went over and I said, congratulations. I know how tough Greg is. I train with him every day, and solid win, and shook his hand, and he was a pleasure to talk to. So shout out to Mike.
Awesome. I think Matt wasn't probing his corner. If I was Matt
in Greg's, yeah.
Yeah, all right. I thought I saw him there. So that was cool.
Yeah.
Well, my man, shout outs, because I gotta let you go because you're an older guy. You need to get your sleep. I'm only kidding, actually.
Oh yeah, it's past my bedtime,
it is.
Man. I got a 5-year-old.
Oh, forget it.
Let's see.
Yeah, you're up at like 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yep. So my sponsors. I want to thank my sponsors. CNC Tattoo, best tattoos in the state of Maine. Chris O'Leary, baby. Therapeutic Touch for massage and cupping. Jen Sprague, shout out to her. She, keeps my back in check when I'm inverting and doing weird stuff in jiu-jitsu every day. Vapor Room in Lewiston. Darren Labby, Duval Auto Sales in Turner. Thank you. Dan Boone, who is always super helpful setting up my my walkout shirts and stuff. He takes good care of me over there. Everyone at Rogueware, thank you so much. My gyms, Recon MMA, CMBJJ, and CrossFit 196, where I do my strength and conditioning at. And then just thanks to New England Fights, Matt Peterson, Nick DeSalvo, all the fans, and Christian Wilfong too. He did a lot of really cool videography stuff leading up to this fight, and so thanks to him too.
Excellent, man. It was a great night and a great lead up to the fights, and shout out to Neff for giving shine to all you people. Last thing, dude, any more reality shows in the future for you?
We'll see, man. I don't know. I'm not going to rule it out, but I'm not necessarily looking. I wasn't looking for the first one either, though.
So one question before I let you go: How the hell do they expect you to be win a tug of war with a fucking 1,200-pound bear?
Dude, I don't know. So did you see the guy that was on my episode? Bruce was his name. This dude was 300 pounds, and he beat the bear at a couple of the things. But they walk us out, and they're like, all right, you're going to be doing tug of war. And I'm all 165 pounds of me. I was just getting, it was right after I fought Dylan, I think. And all 165 pounds of me is going to do tug of war with an 8'4", 1,400-pound grizzly bear. That thing just twitched his neck one way, and I went flying into the water immediately. But what can you do?
Hey,
show up and do your best.
Hey,
all.
It's on the bucket list, brother. Who else could say they tug of war to friggin' grizzly?
It was a blast, man. It was a really cool experience, and I think that was awesome. The way it kind of aired right before the fight, and it all kind of came together perfectly for me. So I'm grateful for everything.
Awesome. Well, the stars were aligning for you leading up to this card, and they blasted and blew up on Saturday night, man. Great win, brother, and congratulations, man, on on a really, really great win, and the whole team, man, performing, and congratulations to Neff and everyone out there for putting together an incredible show.
Yes, yes. Thanks everyone so much, and thanks for having me on, Steve. I really appreciate it. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great with all this. I've been following you a little bit more lately, and I appreciate the work you're doing for mixed martial arts in New England.
Awesome. Thanks, my man. Anytime you want to chat, if you get something else rolling or you want to talk about one of your fighters and you want to come on, anytime, man, let's do it.
Yeah, let's see if I can dig up some beans for you, bro.
Oh my God, I love that you said that. I love it. Yeah, dude, as soon as you got some beans, but let's chat in between then. But yeah, let's definitely talk when something's up or you got some fighters or fights in the works for some of your kids.
Hell yeah, sounds good, man.
All right, my man. Thanks so much for calling in, and it was a pleasure talking to you for the first time, bro.
Yeah, good talking to you, Steve. Take care.
All right, my man. Good night. Oop, I gotta, where is everything? Oh, I gotta get that out of there. So let me just put Jesse's fight end on, I think. Oh, is that it? No, that's not it. Did I get it? Oh, there it is. So there it is. So basically, that was the show, people. Couple of things I want to talk about before we go. I don't want to throw anyone under the bus. We did so much of that already. Not that they didn't deserve it. But there was a lot of stuff. We're not going to mention names or show video because it's all out there anyway. There is a meeting on the 18th, a commission's meeting, and there's going to be a lot of issues talked about as far as Saturday night. No fault of NEF's. No fault of theirs at all. Commissions are an outside group that come in and they take care of the safety of the fights, and they do everything by the book, and they take care of the refs, blah, 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 blah. NEF just puts on a show. The commission, the refs are there to protect the fighters at the show and make sure everything goes along without a hitch. So, with that said, there was a few issues happened Saturday night with some mistakes with the commission, Mass State Commission, which happens quite often. It's not an easy job, but don't take the job if you can't do it, because you're gonna get heat. If you're putting fighters in danger, and I see it, I may be wrong on some of the finishes or if they stopped early or quick, but it's put out there as debate. I put it out there. And if everyone tells me to shut the fuck up, you don't know what you're talking about, well, then I shut the fuck up. But if I put a post up there or a video and everyone's talking about it and it's starting a fire as far as getting things done, well, that's a lot of what I put stuff out there for, is to get the chatter going. You need someone out there that don't give a shit and is going to put out stuff out there that is going to get people talking. So as far as the commission on Saturday, there's going to be a lot of stuff happening on the 18th, a lot of stuff brought up, a lot of video brought up as far as Saturday night and mistakes, not only by the refs, by the commission themselves, with things that were done in and out of the cage. But it'll all come out. You want to see the meeting? The commission their meetings are live streamed on Facebook. If you want to see it, just look it up. I don't know. Ask me on Messenger. I can probably get you the link. I'll share the link. And the 18th is going to be very interesting as far as commissions and all that, and fighter safety, because there was a real bad one Saturday night that everyone knows about, and that video is viral right now, and people are calling for that ref to be held accountable. So with that said, great show tonight. Great show tonight. Thank you to my guests, Nathan Demew White, Mike All Class Bezanson, and Jesse the Viking Erickson. All big winners, all first round finishes Saturday night at NEF42. I appreciate the love. One last thing I got up here. I got my meme of the day I got to throw up here. What do you think about the Connor debacle? I say, who gives a fuck? I just make memes. And That's what I do. So, is it Conor or isn't it Conor? I don't care. I just want to know if it is or not out there. I want to know, because I put out pictures, I put out posts, and people are going, it ain't Conor, it is Conor, but it's great. It's great fun. It's great stuff out there. He's got a fight coming up. No, he doesn't. Tony Ferguson and Khabib got a fight coming up, but he'll have one after that. So Conor, he's always going to have shit following him, but I think that's a great fucking meme. I made that meme 20 minutes before my podcast today. I made that meme. I sent it out. It's going viral right now. So with that said, one last thing. Another thing. The Excalibur strike. I call it a punch, but no one knew what I was talking about on social media when I said, was that an Excalibur punch? The dude came down and just... So I added a sword into his hands, and that's what you get. The Excalibur strike right there. Domenico's meme magic right there. Kevin McDonald, of course, right there watching the action. Kevin McDonald, let me tell you, you are awesome. Kevin McDonald, he answered some questions on a Mike Polvere post yesterday about judging, and as far as judging and what judges looking for, it was a lot to do with the Jones fight and that decision. I don't give a shit about that decision because they're not my kids. They're not New England guys. So as far as that, that shit was funny. Oh, my sword thing. So, Mike Polvere, if you go to Mike Polvere from Cage Titans, his personal page, if you're friends with him, you go on there. Mike Polvere put a post up about judging criterias and stuff like that. And there was a huge debate. And Kevin had a lot to say, and he put a lot of people in their place there. There's a couple of people went on, not mentioning any names, to suck Kevin's off a little bit. But Kevin is the real deal. And if you want any questions asked about reffing, judging, you talk to Kevin McDonald, because he'll tell you straight, and he'll tell you the truth, and he'll tell you 100% accuracy all about that shit. So don't debate with Kevin McDonald on judging and reffing. He will slice you to pieces. That's all I got to say. And he makes incredible memes too. So with that said, everybody, thanks for tuning in. As far as the website that's in the making right now, you have no idea what's coming. You have no idea what's coming. It's going to be huge. We have passion working on this website. We are going to do something special for New England, and it's going to be something that you people are going to be looking at every day, looking up stuff. Because you fighters out there, promotions, t-shirt makers, sponsors, everyone is going to be included in this website, in this hub, this New England hub. We are going to have rankings, and they're going to be voted on by the New England fans, fighters, and a panel. We're not going to do it ourselves. We're going to let you decide who is the best in New England. So we're going to do it fairly and objectively. And this website, all I can say is I'm excited. It's something I've been dreaming of. It's something that I've been working on content for the last 3.5, 4 years in New England to add to this website. So it's going to be huge. I'm just ecstatic about what my man, the dude behind the scenes, is showing me. And, dude, I'm psyched. So with that said, The Room Podcast, thank you for tuning in. We will see you next Wednesday night. I don't know who I'm going to have on. It'll be, I'll be covering Premier FC and a couple of fighters that I love that are fighting on AMO. Even though I'm not a fan of AMO, I'm a fan of the fighters. So I will give the fighters play, but not the promotion. So with that said, thanks for tuning in. Thank you, Matt Peterson, Nick DeSalvo. Saturday night, you were special to me, and I will always promote the shit out of your card, and I will be there 4.5 hours away in April. So with that said, see you later, people. We out.